you even though you just threw some stuff at me.
I don't care. You're disrespectful. Don't do that. Do you see women asking those type of questions to me? Do you see women asking those questions to me?
It's a legit
Why do you feel as a man you get to ask me those type of questions? Act like you have some manners. And your mama taught you, respect women.
I am in reasonable fear because Cardi B's fans are threatening to hurt me.
I don't even know where to start with this one because the circus outside of Cardi B's courtroom this week, it's already one for the books. What was supposed to be a pretty straightforward civil trial, Cardi fighting off that $24 million lawsuit from a former security guard, has turned into a viral storm over a pen, a petty question, and one reporter who's doing the absolute most to make himself the story. So here's how it went down. Cardi is on her lunch break from trial on Tuesday. She steps out of the courthouse. In her sharp, clean-cut courtroom look, hair pulled back, face beat, looking like she's ready to shut down the whole damn jury if she has to. Cameras are flashing, fans are shouting her name, everybody's trying to get a soundbite. And then comes this moment that blew up online. A so-called reporter named Denied, standing there with a mic in hand, asking her the messiest, most disrespectful question you could imagine. This man says to her, "Hey, Cardi, you're beautiful." But insiders are claiming Offset is publicly bragging about getting you pregnant for the 4th time.
Cardi, insiders are claiming that Offset is publicly bragging about getting you pregnant for the 4th time. Do you foresee any paternity issues with Stephon Diggs?
Stop disrespecting me. Don't disrespect me.
Cardi, how you feeling?
I still love you even though you just threw some stuff at me.
I don't care. You're disrespectful. Don't do that. Do you see women asking those type of questions to me? Do you see women asking those questions to me?
It's a legit
Why do you feel as a man you get to ask me those type of questions? Act like you have some manners. And your mama taught you, respect women.
Do you foresee any paternity issues with Stephon Diggs? Excuse me? Sir? What? That right there in the middle of a courthouse lunch break, while Cardi's literally fighting a multi-million-dollar case, you thought that was the right time to ask about alleged baby daddies? The audacity, the gall, the sheer clout-chasing energy radiating off that mic. And Cardi, listen, she snapped. She checked him on the spot. She told him flat out, "Don't disrespect me. Don't do that. Don't ask me no questions like that. Act like your mama taught you to respect women." And then, in that heated moment, she tossed what looked like a pen, or maybe a little object toward the ground. Instantly, the internet went wild, trying to zoom in like it was the Zapruder film, debating if she actually hit him or if the pen just bounced off the pavement. From the clips most of us saw, it looked like nothing made contact. It fell. That was it. No injury, no drama. But of course, the reporter wasn't going to let it stop there.
Hi, my name is Denied. I am in reasonable fear because Cardi B's fans are threatening to hurt me. They are doxing me, pulling up information about me, slandering me, defaming me. This is blown completely out of proportion. Initially, I was more concerned about Cardi B because you're in the middle of closing arguments and decided to assault someone outside of the courthouse who just basically asked a question. No matter if the question was rude, disrespectful, you don't assault anyone. In the state of California, throwing a piece of paper at someone can also be considered assault. So I don't want anybody to say that I'm playing the victim. Initially, I was more concerned about Cardi B because, again, you're in the middle of closing arguments, assaulting someone outside of the courthouse. I did not want the jury to make a decision based upon her actions towards me. Whether she's pregnant, fake pregnancy or not, she's extremely violent, an extremely violent person. Even internationally, followed Ra Ali to France and decided to assault her and come online and publicly brag about it, based upon an assault that took place at Harper's Bazaar 6 or 7 years ago. I think Cardi B is very petty and vengeful, and I am in reasonable fear. She also threatened other bloggers and other YouTubers and other live streamers that she will do something on Bram, which is a gang affiliation. Cardi B and I have first-degree connections to each other who are in fact gang affiliated, who does in fact know my movements and where I hang out at. This is why I'm in reasonable fear. Also, I don't want to be afraid to go and cover a true crime case or go and cover a celebrity case because I'm continuously being assaulted. If you guys don't remember, in New York City at the Diddy trial, just because I asked Gene Deal a question, he decided to assault me inside of the federal court building. He did not experience any consequences or repercussions for his actions, nor did Cardi B. So I don't want to normalize these public figures assaulting people People asked me if I wanted to sue Cardi B. My initial response was no, because again, I was more concerned about her. I do think that she owes me a public apology at the very least. So, and she also needs to tell her supporters to stop harassing me, stop doxing me, and stop, trying to contact my family and pull up things that is completely irrelevant. I just want to be able to do my job as a blogger. I will continue to at least try to, show up to court cases and ask thought-provoking questions and get engagement. I'm an independent journalist who should be respected as such. So if you guys have any information, or if you guys know Cardi B and you can tag her, please tell her to issue a public apology, because number one, she's not even pregnant, which means that she acted out of impulse and, try to pull the pregnant woman card when neither one of them are applicable to her. Everyone who knows me know that I can be really cutthroat, and I was very, very respectful to Cardi B. I feel like I respect Cardi B more than she respects herself, let alone any other women. So anybody that knows her, just tell her to issue a public apology to, at the very least, cool her fans down from continuously harassing me on behalf of her. Thank you.
By the next day, he was online, playing victim, saying he was in reasonable fear for his life, that Cardi is violent, and that her fans were doxing him, threatening his family, dragging him into some social media war he never asked for. And look, nobody should ever threaten somebody's family. That's crossing the line. But let's be real. This man wasn't just giving his side. He was building a whole performance. Because instead of just saying, hey, I felt disrespected, he went into a 20-minute rant about being assaulted, about Cardi's alleged gang ties, about how this moment proves she's out of control, about how she could have poked his eye out with a pen, and even bringing up Raw Ali and the Harper's Bazaar fight from 2018 like it was Exhibit A in some grand case. The man turned into a one-man documentary crew on himself. And here's where it gets messy, because while he's crying about being a victim, he's also plugging his Twitch channel every 5 minutes. Like, hey guys, follow me on Twitch. I'll do a full breakdown. I'll roast her. I'll give you all the content.
Right? A lot of people in Hollywood, like Cardi B, is not going to answer real questions. She wants to be coddled. She's a petulant child. I see what you guys are asking, and a part of my reporting and journalistic integrity is having the courage to ask what everybody want to know. And so in asking what everybody want to know, I make sure I'm as respectful as possible. No matter how respectful you are, or no matter what you say or do, if you're asking something that these people are trying to avoid, then the last thing that I want to do is, have somebody to react the way that Cardi B reacted towards me. Given the fact that Cardi B is on trial for assault and there's no video and it's Cardi's word against that woman's word, I find it very crazy for Cardi B to react by throwing a pen at me the same way she practically allegedly reacted with this security guard at this office. The security guard in her assault case is claiming that Cardi B literally physically attacked her. And if all those people was not there and it was just me by myself and no other cameras and Cardi B's team, Cardi B would have attacked me or had one of those people that she was with to attack me. That's what I'm led to believe, because I'm going to ask the question that people want to know regardless of anything. And so for Cardi B to sit there and gaslight me and say, what kind of questions is that to ask a woman? Well, when she went inside the courthouse this morning, somebody asked her a question. It was a woman, and she flicked them off. So she's very childish. So it doesn't matter what I ask. If it's not something to pander to her or to cater to her, she's going to react. It doesn't matter what I ask. So as long as it's something that she deemed something she didn't want to answer, which is what we all want to know, she was going to react that way. Now, I'm going to do a full breakdown of everything on Twitch. I'm actually going to roast her and everything because she got me kicked out of the courthouse. Yes, Cardi B got me kicked out of the courthouse, y'all. That's why I'm home right now in the courthouse and still going home. I'm like, how the fuck can you get me kicked out of the courthouse when I exercised my First Amendment right and you assaulted me? Okay, and I'm not playing the victim. Let me go ahead and put this out there right now. I have no intentions on suing Cardi B. I have no intentions for any of that. Her reaction to my question told me everything that I needed to know. So it was not my point of, it was not my point. And then Ken Barbie is trying to come at me when you look like a creature. So it's a lot that I got to respond to, and I'm going to do that on Twitch. My Twitch is in the bio of this video, okay? So like I said, for her to react that way while she's on an assault trial, it actually looks bad. And to the people that want to know, no, I have no intentions of suing her. Did she assault me? I don't know. She threw a pen. However, when it comes to the color of law, according to California law, you can throw a piece of paper and assault someone. It doesn't even require it to hit you. Battery is when it makes physical contact. Assault is when you put somebody in reasonable fear. Am I in fear? Because I don't know. The pen could have poked me in the eye or whatever the case may be. Who knows? So I'm not going to sit here and play the victim. But as a matter of operative law, she can get in trouble for assault. Let's be clear about that. And I do need a lot of money right now, but I'm not finna sue her. It was a question. It was a question, and her reaction to that question gave me everything that I needed to know. And it gave y'all content. It gave bloggers stuff to talk about. It gave TMZ, the Shade Room, everybody something to post about. And hopefully they give me credit because I do this. Again, from the Tory Lanez trial to the A$AP Rocky trial to the Diddy trial to this goddamn trial here with Cardi B, to the Lil Durk trial that's coming up, to the Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion trial. I'm going to be there, and I'm going to ask the questions that you guys want to know. I think I have a First Amendment right to do so. I think the best place to exercise your First Amendment right should be near and by the court of law. You know, so to the people that got so much to say, I'm going to do a full breakdown about this on my Twitch. Okay, so you guys could follow my Twitch. It's pinned in my bio.
He's talking about how he cut his vacation short in Brazil to cover celebrity trials, how he went to A$AP Rocky's trial, Diddy's trial, Tory Lanez's trial, Lil Durk's trial. Like he's the Avengers of messy courthouse content. Sir, pick a lane. Are you traumatized and in fear for your life? Or are you building brand recognition on Cardi's name? Because the way you're promoting Twitch in between crying about assault, that don't look like trauma. That looks like strategy. And here's the irony. He keeps insisting he has no plans to sue Cardi. But then 2 minutes later, he admits that lawyers have already approached him, offering to take his case, and that God knows I could use the money right now. Oh, so you're not planning to sue, but you're open to it if the right lawyer makes you a star in the courtroom? Interesting. Very interesting. What's wild is how he compared himself to Einstein and Nikola Tesla during his rant. Like he's some misunderstood genius of journalism. My guy, you asked Cardi B who her baby daddy was outside a courthouse? That's not Einstein, that's not Tesla. That's just messy. And let's not forget, this all started because of one question. A question designed to go viral. Designed to trigger a reaction. And it worked. Cardi reacted. Now the internet is eating it up. This man's on Twitch milking it for content, and Cardi's team has yet another distraction to clean up while she's literally in the middle of a trial that could cost her tens of millions. But the bigger question is this: how many more times is Cardi gonna fall into these traps? Because this isn't the first time. We saw it with Tasha K, with Nicki Beef, with her throwing microphones at fans in Vegas, with her fights in clubs. Every time, the story becomes less about Cardi's art and more about Cardi's temper. And every time, the people provoking her walk away with clicks, headlines, and sometimes even cash. And that's exactly what's happening here. This reporter isn't afraid. He's thrilled. He's the headline. His Twitch is blowing up. TMZ, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, everyone is talking about him. That was the point. He wanted to be the story, and now he is. But what do y'all think? Did Cardi really cross the line by tossing that pen? Or was this man begging for it by asking the most disrespectful question he could think of? And here's where this whole thing went from messy to straight up absurd. Because instead of letting the moment die down, instead of just saying Cardi disrespected me and I want an apology, this man got on camera and turned into the main character of his own soap opera. For almost 20 minutes straight, he ranted about being assaulted, about reasonable fear, about how Cardi's fans were threatening him, and about how the pen she tossed could have blinded him. A pen. On the ground. Not even hitting him. Suddenly, it's the equivalent of a felony-level assault in his book. Now, legally speaking, he's not totally wrong. In California, assault doesn't even require physical contact. If you make someone feel reasonably threatened, that can count. But let's keep it real. This wasn't some random stranger on the street. This was Cardi B, leaving a courthouse swarmed by cameras and security, tossing a pen after being provoked by the most disrespectful question possible. Was anyone really in danger here? Or was this man performing a whole Oscar reel for us on live? Because while he's talking about being scared for his life, he's also plugging his Twitch, bragging about cutting his vacation short in Brazil to cover the Diddy trial, talking about how he went viral, asking A$AP Rocky wild questions, and saying TMZ staff literally follow him around because they know he's gonna stir the pot. Bro, which is it? Are you a victim? Or are you the messy journalist who lives for this exact type of chaos? At one point, he even compared himself to Einstein and Nikola Tesla. Like, they called Tesla weird, they called Einstein weird, and now they're calling me weird. Sir, you are not inventing electricity. You asked Cardi B if Offset is really the daddy of her baby. Let's keep some perspective. And get this. He admitted that multiple lawyers have already slid in, begging him to sue Cardi. He claims he turned them down because he doesn't want to look like an opportunist. But then, in the same breath, he says, God knows, I could use the money right now. So, tell me you're fishing for a lawsuit without telling me you're fishing for a lawsuit. And I think that's the real game here. He's laying the groundwork, talking about trauma, fear for his family, assault, gang affiliations, the whole 9 yards. If Cardi breathes wrong in his direction again, he's got a case file ready to go. And he knows Cardi's history. She sues, she countersues, she doesn't play around. That $24 million lawsuit she's fighting right now is proof. Cardi's not afraid to battle it out in court. But the more these provocations pile up, the more distractions she has, and the more chances somebody might actually hit her pockets. Now, the part that really rubbed people the wrong way, he didn't just talk about the pen, he dragged in Cardi's past. He brought up Ra Ali and the Harper's Bazaar fight from 2018, claiming Cardi follows women internationally to fight them. He mentioned her lawsuit with blogger Tasha K, saying Cardi only won because she played the sympathy card. He even called her a petulant child who doesn't know how to handle fame. And let's be honest, some of those talking points didn't come out of nowhere. We've seen Cardi get physical. We've seen her snap on live. We've seen her clap back instead of letting her team handle it. But hearing it all come from a reporter who literally poked her first, that hits different. That feels less like journalism and more like gaslighting. Because let's not forget, this whole rant started because he asked her about Stefan Diggs. He could have asked about her trial, her music, her upcoming projects. Instead, he went for the nuclear option. Are there paternity issues with Stefan Diggs? That wasn't journalism. That was bait. Pure bait. And when Cardi bit, he spun it into a Netflix documentary. And now he's out here saying he's afraid to go to future trials, that Cardi's fans know his movements, that her alleged gang ties make him unsafe, that he might not even be able to cover true crime cases anymore because of the threats. Again, painting himself as the victim, but also reminding us every 5 seconds to follow him on Twitch. It's a performance, and he knows it. The irony? He keeps saying Cardi is addicted to attention, that she can't stay off social media, that she doesn't know how to control her emotions. But look at him. He's the one milking this moment for every ounce of clout, spinning a pen toss into a career highlight. If that ain't attention-seeking, I don't know what is. And you know what? This isn't even about Cardi at this point. It's about the bigger question. How long can she keep falling into these traps? Because it feels like every year there's a new lawsuit, a new confrontation, a new clip of her throwing something, fighting someone, or snapping outside a courtroom. And every time the other person wins. Not in court, but in the clout war. This reporter, he's not just surviving this. He's thriving. He's gone viral. He's got eyeballs on his channel, and he's getting interviews about being assaulted by Cardi B. Meanwhile, Cardi's the one under a microscope again, trying to convince a jury she's not violent while clips of her tossing pens are circulating online. And if you think that doesn't matter, think again. Juries are human. Judges are human. Public opinion seeps into the courtroom whether we like it or not. And if they see Cardi reacting the same way in public that she's being accused of acting in private, that's not a good look. That's dangerous. So while this reporter is out here calling himself a victim, Einstein, Tesla, and the future of journalism all in one, Cardi's the one who could actually pay the price. And that's the real mess here. Because if you peel back the layers, his rant hit every single angle you'd need to set up a civil suit. He said he's in reasonable fear. He said his family is being threatened. He said Cardi is violent, unstable, and connected to gangs. He even threw in the legal technicalities, assault versus battery, how you don't even need physical contact in California to prove it. He built the case on camera in real time. But then he pulls the classic, I don't want to sue, I don't want money, I just want an apology. We've seen that script before, and 9 times out of 10, it ends with a lawsuit anyway. First comes the live rant, then comes the lawyers, then comes TMZ with the headline, reporter files suit against Cardi B. And here's where Cardi keeps tripping over the same stone. She knows her temper is her biggest weakness. She knows people are baiting her. And yet, she keeps reacting. Remember the Harper's Bazaar fight with Nicki's crew? Remember her lawsuit with Tasha K? Remember the strip club case with those bartenders? Every single time, Cardi lost more than she gained. She won some cases, sure, but the price was heavy. Stress, legal fees, public perception. And now, this reporter's pen toss moment is about to be Exhibit A for anyone trying to paint her as violent in her current $24 million trial. The timing couldn't be worse. We're talking about closing arguments, a jury getting ready to deliberate, and Cardi out here chucking pens at reporters like it's a baseball game. Even if she didn't hit him, the optics are ugly. Judges and juries pay attention to that kind of thing. Prosecutors pay attention to that kind of thing. And most importantly, the media eats it up. And let's not forget, this reporter's rant didn't just go viral because of Cardi. It went viral because he kept fanning the flames. He's on Twitch promising a full breakdown. He's dragging Cardi in real time. He's plugging his socials every 5 seconds. He knows exactly what he's doing. And the scary part, it's working. He's the one trending. He's the one with the mic. And Cardi's the one on defense. Again. Now let's talk about the fans. Social media is split right down the middle. On one side, you got Cardi's supporters saying this man is clout chasing, poking a pregnant woman with a disrespectful question, and then crying victim when she snapped. They're calling him a gaslighter, a fraud, and accusing him of trying to cash out on her name. On the other side, people are saying Cardi's her own worst enemy, that no matter how disrespectful the question was, she can't afford to react like that. Not when she's in the middle of a trial, not when she's already got a history of violence, and not when her whole brand depends on keeping her image sharp. They're saying this proves she hasn't grown, that she can't control herself, and that she'll keep losing in court if she doesn't wise up. And honestly, both sides got a point, because yeah, the reporter was messy as hell, but Cardi's reaction gave him exactly what he wanted. She gave him the viral clip, she gave him the storyline, she gave him the leverage to play victim, she handed him the win. This is the trap of fame in 2025. When you're Cardi B, bigger than life, polarizing, and already in legal trouble, you don't get the luxury of snapping in public, not even once. Because the people with cameras, they're not there to protect you. They're there to catch you slipping. And this reporter, he's already said he's going to keep showing up to every celebrity trial he can, from Tory Lanez to ASAP Rocky to Diddy. He wants to be the guy asking the wild questions that get the viral responses. And Cardi just made him the blueprint. Every time she reacts, she proves his strategy works. So where does that leave us now? With Cardi staring down a $24 million civil case, a reporter who refuses to back down, and a viral clip of her tossing a pen that's already being spun into an assault. The jury hasn't even made its decision yet, but in the court of public opinion, this man just pulled off the hustle of the year. He went from being another loud voice outside a courthouse to having the whole internet debating if Cardi crossed the line. And that's exactly the kind of attention he wanted. And here's the real kicker. This isn't even about whether the pen hit him or not. It's about control. Because the one thing Cardi hasn't figured out is that the cameras aren't her friends. They're waiting to catch her slip. And every time she reacts, every time she lets somebody bait her into snapping, she hands them the win on a silver platter. That's the cycle she's stuck in. So now we gotta ask, will this just blow over like another messy headline? Or is this the moment that finally cost Cardi more than just money? Is she really learning from these courtroom battles? Or are we watching the same story play on repeat? Because one thing is for sure, the next person who baits her won't be asking for clout. They'll be asking for a check. But what do you think? Did this reporter cross the line? Or did Cardi B hand him the victory by reacting the way she did? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.